cuties, I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Young and the Restless edition. All right, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a 7. It was solid. And today is Wednesday, September the 7th, 2022. Look how fast September is going, y'all. Let's get right into it. I'm not going to hold you that long. We see Jack and Billy, and this conversation just took such of a left turn. I said, what is happening here? So we start off with as always, Billy questioning Jack about hiring Adam, and Jack is just like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about Chancellor Winters acquiring the Grand Phoenix. I have questions, and he said sure. And so Jack says he wants to open a boutique, and Billy was like, yeah, but you could have sent me an email. I feel like you're deflecting from the fact that you don't want to talk about Adam. And Jack says, I don't want to talk about Adam. You no longer, work at Jabot and everything. Those are my decisions. And I made the decision to bring Adam on. And Billy is just like, after all he's done to me. And Jack is just like, listen, I know you will never forgive Adam because of Delilah and everything. But I am here to support Adam, and you are my brother. You'll always be my brother. There's no competition. And the conversation just kept spiraling downhill. And because Billy says, Jack questions Billy about, you seem to be enjoying your podcast. And he says, well, I'm no longer doing the podcast. Lily wanted me to be her her COO, and I just focus on that for Lily. He says, well, what do you want to do, Billy? And he says, oh, I just want to gamble, be a professional gambler. And he's like, that's what you want to hear, right, Jack? And I think Jack was really coming to Billy out of concern. And Billy is really acting like Chelsea to me, like, the truth of the matter is you did enjoy doing that podcast, and you don't want to be the COO of Chancellor Winters. And everyone has seen this. I don't know why you won't just tell Lily this or whatever. And as Lily, as your partner, I don't know why she doesn't see this. Everyone else does. But anyways, he and Jack keep going back and forth. And then finally Jack says, he starts telling him, in your podcast, you said about you were lonely and just looking for a place to land and all this. And Billy was like, I feel like you're projecting your feelings onto me. And I said, I honestly don't see that, because Jack seemed real stable and like he's comfortable in his own skin to me. It's other people on this soap that are not like, but Jack, Victor, Nikki, they are very comfortable in who they are. Now, you, on the other hand, I can't say the same. But anyways, so Billy just decide, Jack says, if what I have to say isn't true at all, then you wouldn't be getting up this upset. And then Billy just gets up and leaves. So then we move on to Chloe and Abby, and Chloe is just venting about Adam. And I said, girl, why do you care this much? She's venting about Adam and everything, and she feels bad for Sally. And Abby said, well, she knew. I don't feel bad for Sally, because she knew exactly what she was gonna get when she got with Adam. So then we see that they talk about Chance and Kevin, and how now that the case is over and Ray's case have been solved, they can finally get back to, their husbands back. And Chloe was like, well, I hope, the tension between Kevin and Chance dies. And she was like, what? I didn't know there was tension. I said, me either. What tension? Because Kevin is over there playing Leo in Days of Our Lives, and he's doing a heck of a job. And I'm like, y'all just making up, like, y'all really don't have a storyline for Chloe. So y'all make her a busybody. That's it. And so she was supposed to be there when Abby talked to Chance, brought Chance in. So Abby talks to Chance, and he says, let's meet for a drink. I'll even take it in a sippy cup, about their picnic when she packed her own basket and everything. And she says, okay. And so Chloe was just like, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, stir things up. And she said, no, I'm glad you told me, and all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, we'll just figure this out whenever Chance gets there. Then Sally gonna stop Chance, and she gonna hop herself down. And she told Chance, you should thank me, I didn't print that story. And she said, yep, Adam was trying to use me or whatever. And he was like, Chance was me. Sally, what you doing? Why you sit down here? Y'all know Sally's my girl, but like, what's happening here? What's going on? And Sally is just looking. Sally is lonely. There are a lot of people on this soap right now that are lonely. Chelsea is lonely. Sally is lonely. Adam is lonely. Phyllis is lonely. I mean, I love me some Phyllis, but she's doing all this about Jack because she's lonely. She has her daughter and everything, but she wants that companionship, and she sank her nails into Jack, and she will not let go. Anyways, bring this back, Nikki, to Sally and Chance. So Sally set herself down because she wants to talk to Chance and just be a kindred spirit in doing something for the Newmans. And he said, no, I didn't do it for the Newmans. Yes, you did, sir. Now, Chance, you could say all you want to that you did the case the way you were supposed to, but no, that's not what happened. Because if it was what happened, then the way you are feeling right now, the guilt that you still have and the resentment that you kind of sort of have for the way you closed that case, you would not be feeling that. Because if it were anybody else, you would have let the public know what really went down with Ashlyn, but you didn't, and you didn't do it because it was the Newman. Stop it, y'all. Like, you could stop it. You could still be a good guy and say, I bent the rules for my family, because that's exactly what you did. And Sally said, well, I guess we're not kindred spirits. You said you did it for the right reasons or whatever. But Sally know at the end of the day, that's not why you did it. She gonna get up and leave. So then we see Chelsea and Adam in the park, right? And they are talking, and Chelsea says she wants to take Connor, right? And Adam is like, take Connor for how long? She says, I just want to take him for a few days to see my mom. He said he just got back from camp, and now you want to take him. He said, I haven't even got to see him like that, Chelsea. And he was like, I haven't even got to see him like that, Chelsea. Like, no, I don't want you to take any. How long? Like, is this a permanent? And she said, no, it's not going to be permanent. But then she started talking about, well, he could start school up. You okay, mama? He could start school up there. And I said, well, ma'am, you making it sound permanent. What are you doing? And I said, I know y'all not finna have a custody battle with Chelsea and Adam. I know y'all not about to do this. But anyways, Chelsea gets all mad at Adam because he says, Chelsea, Connor is your child. He's not your emotional safety net and your emotional feel good. That's not his responsibility. You need to work on yourself. Go and see you check yourself out so that you could visit Anita, like take care of Anita, but you really need to work on your issues. And so she gets all upset with Adam because he said this to her. And she says, you know what? Besides Connor, I wish I had never met you. Like, if I didn't have Connor, I wish we had never met. And she don't like him. Like, she can't stand him. And Sally heard this going on or whatever. And then when Chelsea leaves, she goes up to Adam and he tells her he's concerned about Chelsea. And, Sally just tells him at the end of the day, that's her child too. And I could see it from her side. I could see it from her point of view. Like, I get that you're concerned or whatever. Because she said, no, I would not let Connor go with her either. As far as, since she seems unstable, I wouldn't let her, take Connor either. She said, but I do see her wanting to just have some time with her son and try to get herself back together. And then she told Adam, she said, because he said something and she was like, but this ain't like, don't think that I'm weakening towards you, because you're gonna have to do, just because you having a moment or whatever, you gonna have to actually do some real work to even get my forgiveness. And he said, I understand that. So then we see Chelsea goes over to society and goes smooth off on Abby. And she is telling Abby that she is tired of people asking her, how is she? Is everything okay? And, because no, she's not okay. And I said, you sure are not. Go talk to a counselor instead of going off on Abby. She said, no, she's not okay. She's not doing well. She's lonely. Ever since Ray died, she hasn't been the same. She thought she was finding peace and she was being grounded. And then her world got upheaved. And then she goes to the podcast and then that gets yanked away from her. So she's not doing okay. And now she's sitting there drinking them martinis. I said, why are you serving this girl martini? Like, give her some complimentary something, chicken wings, a sandwich, something, empanada. Give her something to go with this alcohol that she's sitting here downing, that consuming. So then Chance gets there, and then Abby tells him, Chelsea has had a lot to drink. Please don't ask her how she's doing. Is everything okay? Because she goes off about that. But could you offer a ride? And he was like, you think she would, like, why can't we just call her a cab? She said, because I think she would be upset about that. And he was like, okay. So he go over, and you could clearly tell Chelsea has been drinking a few more drinks, and she's out of there. Inebriated. And so he tells her, I'll take me, Abby and I are about to go home, but we took separate cars so I could take you home. And she was like, no, no, and whatever. But then she tried to get up, and she's tipsy. And so he said, no, it's no big deal. I'll take you home. And she tells Abby how he was her guru, and he gives her words of wisdom. And Abby was like, just, thank you so much for taking her. She told Chance after, Chelsea's back was turned. And so then, because y'all know the spoilers have been saying that Chelsea and Chance were supposed to, that's the person she was supposed to get with. Now they threw us off a little bit because they've been hooking, it's Adam, it's Billy, but they say it's supposed to be Chance. And if the spoilers are right, and it looks like they're going down this path now, like, because this is the second time we've seen Chance come to her rescue, and she's like, you are my superhero guru. And he says he understands people thinking what you did. He was talking about Sally then. What you did was something else, and it's completely different. And always questioning you and wanting to know if you're okay, and all that. He said he gets it. And so they can relate to each other. And she just lets him know that since Ray died, she's just had a really hard time with it and everything. And he says he understands. But y'all, that was it with them. So then we go to Chelsea and Sally, and they are talking about, I said Chelsea is talking. No, excuse me, Chloe and Sally. Chloe was telling Sally that they need to focus on work because she doesn't want to talk about Adam. And Sally says she feels the same. She said, but I will tell you, I'm worried about Chelsea. Have you talked to her? And she says, no. And she said, I saw her have a fight with Adam. And she said, yeah, that's what he does. And so they did go on that topic. But then Sally just tells Chelsea, I want you to know, Chloe, I'm good. I'm just concerned about Chelsea or whatever. And I don't want to talk about Adam anymore. And she says, I don't want to talk about him either. So then Chloe says, so let's eat our lunch and then get down to work so we can go home and then she stops and she says, I'm sorry. And Sally said, no, it's not your fault. She said, I don't have family. I don't have a loved one to go. Like, she has nothing to go home to. And she says, but at least I'm not, I didn't have a child with Adam, so I wouldn't be yelling in the park wishing I never met him. You know what I'm saying? And so Adam actually was coming to the office and he heard that. But I mean, it is, Adam. I know you're trying to win Sally back, and I was here for this relationship. But after a month or however long it's been that you undid this girl dirty like this, I'm over it. I'm over it too. I want her to move on to Nick. I know some people don't want it, but I'm over that. But anyways, thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time on another episode of What Happened on the Soaps, the Young and the Restless edition. Goodbye.